Welcome back to the channel World Coins Master, where the ordinary turns extraordinary, and pocket change might just make you a millionaire overnight. If you're a collector, a coin enthusiast, or even just someone who occasionally glances at the coins in your change jar, you might want to take a moment and listen carefully. Because today, we're going to dive deep into the stunning mystery, historical significance, and the jaw-dropping financial potential of one of America's most astonishing coin discoveries, the 1973 Roosevelt dime, a coin with a face value of just 10 cents, but one that could be worth up to a staggering $14 million if you happen to come across the right one. Now, before you dismiss this as just another coin tale, let me tell you, the 1973 dime isn't just a coin. It's a story, a legend in the numismatic world that's been building over the decades. While most 1973 dimes might only be worth their face value or slightly more to a casual collector, there exists a rare subset, a mysterious, almost mythical group of era coins that have fascinated experts, collectors, and treasure hunters alike. These rare versions aren't just slightly different. They are the result of production errors, striking anomalies, and mint mark inconsistencies that have catapulted their value into the millions. To understand how a coin worth 10 cents can reach a valuation of $14 million, we need to start by looking at the basics. What the 1973 Roosevelt dime was meant to be, and then explore all the things that went completely, gloriously wrong in some rare instances. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, the year after President Franklin D. Roosevelt's death. The dime was chosen to honor him not just because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, but also because of his strong support for the March of Dimes, a foundation fighting polio. The design of the coin, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, was meant to be dignified and consistent. And for the most part, it was. For decades, these coins were struck with precise and efficient accuracy at mints across the United States. In 1973, dimes were produced at two primary mints, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia in that era usually had no mint mark, while those from Denver bore a small d. There were also proof coins made in San Francisco, which carried an S mint mark. These mint marks were often the first clues collectors looked for when hunting for valuable coins. But something unusual began to surface in the world of coin collecting. Rumors began to spread that not all 1973 dimes were created equally. Some showed signs of being struck on the wrong planchet. Others bore odd or misplaced mint marks. And some even seemed to feature double striking or other mechanical mishaps. These were the first whispers of what would eventually become the legend of the multimillion-dollar 1973 dime. Let's talk first about the most commonly discussed error that skyrocketed the 1973 dime's value: the off-metal strike error. In layman's terms, this means the coin was struck using the wrong type of metal. Typically, a 1973 dime should be composed of a copper-nickel clad combination. But in a few mysterious cases, coins were discovered to be struck on a silver planchet, a leftover blank from earlier coinage years. Silver coins were officially removed from general circulation in 1965, and by 1973, no dimes should have been made of silver. Yet a few were. And that anomaly, that error, that tiny mistake in the grand machine of the U.S. Mint turned a 10-cent coin into a numismatic treasure. But silver isn't the only anomaly. Some 1973 dimes were found struck on planchets meant for foreign coins, like the 5 centavos of certain Latin American countries, which the U.S. Mint was producing for international clients at the time. These errors created coins of unusual thickness, weight, and composition. Inexperienced eyes might not notice the difference, but to trained collectors, these anomalies were gold, or rather, million-dollar copper. Then there's the case of the missing mint mark. Now you might think, okay, a missing letter, how can that be worth anything? But here's the thing. A missing mint mark can be more than just a smudge or a soft strike. In some rare cases, the mint mark was never punched in at all, a mechanical oversight that created a distinctly different variant. And in 1973, a number of dimes surfaced bearing absolutely no mint mark when they were expected to, particularly those from San Francisco, which produced proof coins with very specific, high-quality standards. A missing S from a San Francisco proof coin? That's like a Ferrari missing its logo. It becomes an instant curiosity, and for collectors, curiosity means cash. Now, let's go even deeper into the rabbit hole. Among the most coveted errors of the 1973 dime are the double die strikes. This occurs when the coin design is impressed more than once, resulting in a doubled image, most commonly seen on the date, lettering, or Roosevelt's profile. Under magnification, these coins look slightly off, almost as if they're vibrating or ghosted. But to collectors, they represent a rare mistake in die production and alignment, and they are willing to pay top dollar to own one. In 1973, there were only a handful of confirmed double-die Roosevelt dimes, and those few examples now reside in private collections or museums, except for the ones that are still out there, hidden in someone's pocket change or buried in a forgotten coin jar. But it's not just the physical errors that make this coin so rare and valuable. It's also the history surrounding it. The 1973 dime was minted during a time of great transition for the U.S. economy and the mint itself. The early 70s were plagued by inflation, changes in monetary policy, and increasing demand for coinage. Mistakes were bound to happen, machines ran faster, quality control was under pressure, and human error crept into the system. All of these factors combined to create an environment ripe for numismatic anomalies. Imagine, for a moment, the kind of journey a coin takes. It begins as a blank, a planchet, punched out from a sheet of metal. It's sent through massive presses where dies strike its design into the surface. It's counted, sorted, bagged, and shipped across the country. But at any point in that process, something could go wrong. A blank from another denomination might slip into the mix. A die might become misaligned. A mint worker might overlook a punch or press misfire. And when that happens, when even one tiny mistake is made, the result can be a coin so rare that only a few exist in the entire world. And that brings us to the legendary $14 million 1973 dime, a coin surrounded by mystery, speculation, and awe. This coin, allegedly discovered in a private collection in the Midwest, shows multiple rare features: a double-die verse, struck on a silver planchet, with a misaligned die and a missing mint mark. This single coin, encapsulating multiple high-value errors, has been appraised by top numismatic experts and collectors as one of the most valuable modern-era coins ever discovered. While its sale price has never been made public, insiders claim that offers exceeding $14 million were made and refused. Why would someone turn down that kind of money? Because once a coin like this enters the world, its value becomes more than monetary. It becomes legendary. And legends grow. So what does all of this mean for you? Could you have a 1973 dime worth millions hiding in your pocket, or tucked away in a drawer? It's more possible than you might think. Start by checking your dimes, especially those from 1973. Look for anything unusual. Is the metal color slightly different? Is the coin lighter or heavier than usual? Does it have a mint mark? Is the image or date slightly doubled? Even the smallest anomaly could be the key to uncovering a coin worth thousands, or even millions. And don't just look once. Coins can be deceiving. What might seem like a normal dime at first glance could, under magnification and with expert review, reveal itself to be a multi-million-dollar treasure. Many of the most valuable coins ever discovered were found not by seasoned experts but by ordinary people who took a second look. And once you do find something unusual, take it seriously. Don't rush to sell it to the first bidder. Contact a reputable numismatist, a certified coin grader, or a major auction house like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Get your coin professionally authenticated and appraised. That 10-cent piece might just change your life. In conclusion, the 1973 Roosevelt dime isn't just a small silver-colored disc. It's a symbol of how something so tiny, so easily overlooked, can hold incredible value when everything aligns just right. The missteps of machines, the oversights of humans, the quirks of history, they all come together in rare cases to create coins like the $14 million 1973 dime. So, keep searching, keep looking closely, and never underestimate the change in your pocket. Because hidden among the ordinary, there just might be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, and it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating tale that will leave you absolutely stunned. Imagine holding something as tiny and unassuming as a dime, just 10 cents in your hand, and discovering it's not just a regular piece of pocket change, but a potentially life-changing, multi-million-dollar artifact. That's exactly what we're talking about in this video. The humble 2005 P. Roosevelt 1 dime, a coin that many of us have casually spent or overlooked, might just be the key to unlocking a $6 million fortune. Yes, you heard that right. $6 million from a 10-cent piece. Now, you might be wondering how on earth a 2005 dime could be worth such an astronomical figure. Is it made of solid gold? Was it owned by a president or a rock star? Did it fall from space? None of the above. The answer lies in a combination of incredibly rare minting errors, mysterious anomalies, and hidden historical significance that has collectors around the world in a frenzy. In today's video, we're going to explore all the intricate details that have transformed this ordinary dime into one of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's take a journey into the world of rare coins, because what we're about to uncover will absolutely blow your mind. The story of the 2005 P1 dime begins like any other. It was minted in Philadelphia in the year 2005, as part of the regular issuance of Roosevelt dimes. Tens of millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation that year, making them, on the surface, nothing more than a common currency. But within this enormous mintage, a few unique pieces were created, not by design, but by accident. These rare dimes carry errors so unusual, so extraordinary, that they defy normal expectations of coin production and quality control. And it is precisely these peculiarities that have elevated their value far beyond anything one would expect from a simple 10-cent coin. One of the key factors contributing to the unbelievable value of the $6 million 2005 P dime is its mint mark anomaly. For those unfamiliar, the mint mark on a coin tells us where it was produced. In this case, P stands for Philadelphia. But on some of these rare dimes, collectors have discovered an enigmatic variation, a doubled or distorted P, sometimes slightly rotated or appearing shadowed beneath a second impression. This doubling effect, known as a double dime mint mark error, is one of the rarest and most sought-after types of errors in the coin collecting world. But it doesn't stop there. Some of these same dimes also feature ghost impressions of other characters, letters or numbers that seem to float just outside the rim of the coin, as if remnants of a different coin altogether had been mistakenly imprinted. Such errors suggest a misalignment in the die process, or even a clash between two mismatched dies. These overlapping impressions are incredibly rare and typically result from a fleeting glitch in the high-speed minting process, which is otherwise tightly controlled and inspected. Now imagine a coin that exhibits not just one, but multiple errors, a doubled mint mark, ghost impressions, off-center striking, and to top it all off, a mysterious reeded edge pattern that doesn't match standard specs. Yes, that's right. Some of these dimes have edges that show a curious interruption or missing segments in the reading, giving them a unique physical profile. It's the coin equivalent of having a fingerprint that doesn't match any known template. These combined errors have never before been found on a single dime series with such intensity, rarity, and clarity. Let's delve deeper into the concept of off-center strikes. An off-center error happens when the coin blank, also called a planchet, is not perfectly aligned with the dies during the striking process. Instead of the design being centered, it appears shifted, sometimes dramatically so. Most off-center coins show only partial designs and may even miss parts of the inscriptions or faces. Now, while off-center errors are known in numismatics, the 2005 P dimes that are worth millions don't just have your average misalignment. Some have been recorded with a 40 to 60% off-center strike but with complete legibility of the date and mint mark, an incredibly rare balance that exponentially boosts its desirability and collector value. Furthermore, there have been reports of a unique die clash phenomenon on certain 2005 P dimes. A die clash occurs when the two dies, meant to strike the obverse and reverse of a coin, collide without a planchet between them. This results in parts of the reverse design being imprinted onto the obverse die, and vice versa. The resulting coin then carries ghostly, mirror-like outlines of the opposite side of the coin. Now imagine finding a dime where Roosevelt's face faintly bears the outline of a torch or an olive branch. Impossible, unless such a clash occurred. These coins are incredibly rare and often command high premiums even when the clash is barely visible. But when the clash is deep and well-defined, like on some of these 2005 P dimes, the value skyrockets. One particular specimen, rumored to be in a private collection, displays an astonishingly crisp reverse image overlaying the obverse side, almost like a double exposure in a photograph. The collector who owns this piece has reportedly turned down multiple seven-figure offers, including one rumored to be just under $6 million. That's the kind of rarity we're dealing with here. In addition to the visible errors, some of these 2005 P dimes are believed to have been struck on the wrong planchet altogether. A wrong planchet error occurs when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, or even a different country's coin. There are reports of 2005p dimes being struck on thinner, lighter metal blanks, possibly meant for foreign coins or experimental U.S. mint trials. These planchets might result in slight size variations, weight differences, or unexpected metal content, each of which adds to the coin's rarity and value. A few collectors have conducted X-ray fluorescence (XRF) scans on their 2005p dimes and discovered surprising traces of elements not commonly found in standard Roosevelt dimes. Some samples show unusual percentages of nickel, copper, and even trace amounts of silver, suggesting the possibility that a transitional planchet might have been used, perhaps a leftover from a previous minting cycle or an accidental inclusion from another batch. But the mystery deepens even further when we consider the serial rumors surrounding a small run of dimes with no mint mark at all. That's right, completely blank where the P should be. This anomaly would suggest a mint mark omission error, which is rare but known to happen when the die is not properly punched or is overpolished. Finding a 2005 dime with no visible mint mark and confirmed authenticity would be the holy grail for many collectors and could easily fetch several $1 million at auction, particularly if it also exhibits other errors. Let's not forget the condition of the coin. Condition plays a crucial role in the valuation of any rare coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A few 2005p dimes with the aforementioned errors have been found in mint state, MS, condition, some even graded MS 68 or higher. The cleaner and more pristine the coin, the higher its potential value. Combine mint state condition with multiple rare errors, and it becomes clear why some of these coins are valued in the multi-million-dollar range. There's also speculation about a very specific batch of these dimes being linked to a rare minting experiment. Some numismatists believe that a small subset of the 2005p dimes may have been part of a secret testing phase for improved die durability or planchet quality, making these coins experimental strikings. While the U.S. Mint has never publicly confirmed such a trial involving the Roosevelt dime in 2005, documents have surfaced hinting at ongoing die experimentation during the early 2000s. If these coins can be definitively tied to such a program, their historical and collectible value would increase even further. What's fascinating is the way that the market for these coins has evolved. Back in 2005 and 2006, these rare dimes went largely unnoticed. They were in circulation, sometimes even used to buy candy, groceries, or pay parking meters. But as collectors began to notice peculiarities, doubled images, weight differences, strange shadows beneath mint marks, the buzz started building. Coin forums lit up with discussion, photos were shared, and slowly, the legend of the 2005p $6 million dime began to grow. As more people inspected their pocket change and more rare examples came to light, the demand exploded. Auction houses began taking notice, and when one era-laden 2005p dime sold for over $1 million at a major coin show, the floodgates opened. Today, these coins are among the most hunted U.S. dimes in the world. Collectors, hobbyists, and investors alike are all hoping to stumble upon one of these magical pieces in their change jars, old wallets, or inherited coin collections. Even the story itself has value. The lore, the mystery, the idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could be worth millions, that's the kind of story that captivates people. It's a modern treasure hunt, one grounded not in fantasy, but in reality, documented and verified by experts. And it all comes down to one simple truth: mistakes, when rare enough, can be worth an absolute fortune. And so, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone curious about what might be hiding in your pockets, the tale of the 2005p Roosevelt dime should serve as inspiration. Always look closely. Always pay attention to the little things. You never know when a piece of your loose change